what does it look like living life as a priest? I asked that question yesterday, and anytime I put a question up, y'all got 1,001 things, but there ain't too many of that. It was crickets in my comments, right? Living as a priest. When you decide to take on the priesthood and be initiated, there's not enough things explained to you all for my liking, right? In my opinion, let me say that. You're supposed to change. Like your Ita is your new Bible, is your new guideline packet to remind you of the things that you need to change, of the things that you are to adhere to, because in your divination, the energy is being read. Your energy is being read. The things that are going on in your life is being read, and all the energy that comes behind it, right? So things that we do not like and we do not want to do are 100% in there. On my soul is in there. You know what I'm saying? And it's about discipline. If you haven't learned it, you better learn it. You're going to learn it. It's about routine. It's about respect. It's about honor. It's about being of service, of being a help to maybe not always your community, but for your bloodline, your children, yourself, you know, and that does transcend out into your community if you're putting good energy out, right? You're teaching your children better. You're teaching your children world. You're opening up your eyes to the wonders of this world and this plane that you prior to had maybe little to no knowledge of, right? When I think about my priesthood, I think my first thought is always, am I in alignment, right? Then I go to, will my father Shango be proud of his daughter and the way that I move and the way that I treat people and the way that I honor his name? And would he be embarrassed of anything that I've done to make him look at me in a way where it is not of being proud? You know what I mean? I want to be proud. I want my father to be proud of me. I want my father to say, look at my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Look at what my daughter is doing for her people. Look at what my daughter is doing for her community. Look at what my daughter is doing for her life. Look at what my daughter, I'm proud of this child. I gave her a crown. I waited for her. She calls my name, you know, so I would never want to embarrass my father. You know what I'm saying? So I am very careful in what I do, how I move, whether it's with Orisha or not, whether it's just with my regular spiritual life, whether I'm in a spiritual battle, whatever it is. I don't want my father to be embarrassed, right? I don't want my father to look at me and say, this child hasn't learned. As a priest, you never stop learning. I am a knowledge seeker. I am a person who wants to learn. I want to learn the best ways to do things. I want to learn the right ways to do things. I want to learn everything that I possibly can about first myself, and then energy and the world and the people around me and so on and so forth, and how do I fit into it, and what is it that I'm supposed to be doing, and what is my role, and am I doing everything to the best of my ability, or am I slacking? Do I get mad and do things that are way too left-handed for me to be calling myself a priest? Am I scamming people? Am I worrying about my loins over anything else, you know, over what I know is right? Do my wants override my needs? That's not, you know, is my character good? Is the way that I treat people right? When other people hear my name or talk about me, do they identify, or can they identify that my spirit is right, my hands are clean? These people are intuitive people as well. You know what I'm saying? Spiritual people see other spiritual people, and we see what the fuck y'all be doing and what y'all got going on. You know what I'm saying? Do you sit with your Orisha, right? How many times have you sat down with your Orisha? And don't ask them for shit. Have a straight up conversation. Pull out your Ita. Read through your Ita to see if there's things that you miss. You know how often I sit down and go through my Ita, and every time I sit there and go through my Ita, I find something else that I was not expecting to find, because I didn't remember, you know. I didn't remember from the time that I had my initial initiation, a lot of things. There's a lot of information in there. So from time to time, I'll sit with my Orisha and read through my Ita and see what comes to me, because they're going to communicate to me what it is that I need in those moments, and the things that I need to, that should stand out for me if I have not paid attention to it, or if I just overlooked it by accident. You know what I'm saying? How many times, like those people, everybody don't get initiated to do stuff for other people. Sometimes that initiation is straight up for yourself, right? And for your family and for your loved ones. And you're not really supposed to be out doing stuff for the community, because that's not how you come. You know what I'm saying? However, there are different ways. How many times you go feed the homeless, right? You can go do other things that shows acts of service and acts of kindness. When I look at your social media feeds, are you up there just straight up talking shit and you not doing nothing, but then you want to claim Orisha and say Orisha this, Orisha that? Yeah, well, would your Orisha be proud of the way that you are behaving, the way that you are acting? Like, if you're going to call their name, then you should be doing something that honors them. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just information, even if it's just sharing with somebody, even if it's just giving a prayer, you know what I'm saying? Something, do something, be better. You know what I'm saying? If you're worrying about not being free and not being able to do the thing, then you shouldn't have been, this wasn't for you. A crown is not for everybody. The priesthood is not for everybody. It takes discipline, it takes discernment, it takes routine, it takes giving of yourself, being selfless sometimes, doing things when you are fucking exhausted and you really don't feel like doing it, but you gotta do it. Your body hurts. Like, if you're gonna be present, then you're supposed to be 100% present mentally, physically, all of the leaves, right? So if I say that you don't live like a priest, you should look at what's going on in your life to say, do I live like a priest? Would my Orisha be proud of me? Would my Orisha be like, okay, that's one of my child, or would they look at me sideways? Because they will give you the bombastic side eye. Listen, they will give you the bombastic side eye if you ain't right. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't looking at yourself and you're not doing the shadow work and you haven't seen that you haven't grown and you still in the same position and you got this crown on your head, then there's a disconnection somewhere. I'm sorry. Right? There's certain things that you should do that in the beginning of your priesthood, like that first year when we sat down, if you initiated in the Lukumi system, that's everything. You know, that gives you time to get it together. You know, in other traditions, they don't make you sit down for a year, but you should, you should look at yourself and do it on your own. Make sure that you cutting certain things out so that you get into a ritual, you get into a routine, you find a comfortability in what you are doing, and make sure that above all, that you honoring that crown that's been put on your head, because they're not just giving it to you to give it to you. These Itas, those old dudes, they're not just giving it to you to give to you. They ain't pull that shit out the sky. They looked at your life and was like, yeah, this is what it is. You better listen. And those of you who don't want to listen, and those of you who don't want to do what you're supposed to do, no, you're not living like a priest. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not about what we want. There's mad things in my Ita that came up that I did not want to do, that I was like, ugh, did I do it? You motherfucking right, I did it, because Shango talked one time and he ain't dragging me for filth because I allowed him to be crowned to my head. Are you kidding me? No, sir. I take pride, I take honor, I take my role very seriously, and my role is not like everybody else's role. Your role is not like everybody else's role. However, being a better person, a well-rounded person, a person that's in alignment, a person that gives out good energy, a person that fixes their character, a person that looks towards the good, and everything that they can do will be towards good. You know what I mean? That's a true priest, you know, one who wants to help and not harm, one who wants to give with limits and boundaries the things that they are supposed to give to their community, to their family, to their loved ones, to themselves, you know. That's that.